But the stock will recover. I'm absolutely sure about it. I mean, I told you yesterday, I still think today the stock is worth 300.
Alexandra Merz is a well-known Tesla stock investor, and she's very confident that Tesla stock will go back up to $300. So let's see what she had to say in this interview with Herbert.
In the 90s, I was running the biggest European mutual funds. Yes, both of them. In preparation of this today, I was looking at volume in Tesla, and it's going down a bit. I should have sent you the graph, but you remember we had in December and beginning of January about 200 million. It was crazy. And now we're down to 140. I think yesterday was 142. So I just do believe the interest on Tesla at the moment goes down just because people are focusing on other stuff.
Very true. Look at this trading volume chart, and it was not very high, and around December it went up a lot, and it stayed high throughout January, and then it started declining, and now more recently, it has been still steadily declining. With multiple banks having collapsed in the last week, I think everyone is sort of busy looking at other things. I fully agree with Alexandra here. If you want to find something to short, there are many better stocks than Tesla for sure. It's never a good idea to short Tesla stock, but the perception used to be, oh, you can short it. But now clearly there are other stocks that you can certainly short and make a lot of money. Although with the government stepping in and bailing everyone out, that is a little bit difficult currently.
There, at the moment, if you are an equity trader or an equity fund manager, you are looking at your bank stocks, you're looking at your insurance stocks, you're looking at maybe at automotive stocks that have financing arms, because that could be another one that's exploding sooner or later. So this is a situation today where a lot of bubbles can pop. Tesla doesn't have a bubble, but GM has a bubble because of their automotive financing sector and obviously of the lack of an attractive product line today. Same is for Ford. So this could be also the moment where the auto financing bubble finally bursts, because that one is ripe to a burst.
There are some interesting things going on in the subprime auto lending industry. It is rumored that the 7th largest bank in the US and a parent company of prominent subprime auto lender Regional Acceptance just cut its auto lending budget in half. It will hurt used car sales volumes. And the rates for cars are super high. New cars, 8.67%. Used cars, 13.65%. And the car dealer explains it. What you see is a 500 credit score, but what he sees is an interest rate of 21%. And someone has done as high as 29.85%. Wow. At this pace, we are 150 basis points away from car salesmen becoming OnlyFans influencers. And Alexandra is absolutely right that a lot of these automakers that have financing arms are going to be in deep trouble, because also you have to think about this. This whole crisis in the banking sector that we just had was because of unrealized losses. But if Tesla keeps forcing everyone else to drop prices even more, and if they do, then that creates another problem for these automakers. It's not just about making less money immediately when you sell vehicles. It is also about financing these vehicles, and especially getting the old cars returned to you, that are, for example, leases, or you lend money to people to buy your car, and all of a sudden, because you drop prices on your new cars, now these loans that you made before won't look as good on your books as they did before. Because when they make a loan, they calculate, okay, here is what the resale value is going to be at the end of the loan when the car is probably going to come back to us. But now, if they cut prices, they have to redo their whole math, which means the numbers that they tell everyone are true may turn out to no longer be true. In relative terms, for now, Tesla still does not sell that many vehicles per year. It's already a huge number, but what we will have in a year or 2 or 3 will be much bigger. And that will give Tesla more power to influence the pricing of the whole industry. And that will be a problem for a lot of automakers, because then Tesla will really be competing directly, not just with electric vehicles, but more with gasoline-powered vehicles, because the sticker price will be very similar. It will be an obvious choice to buy a Tesla later.
So all these things are much more in the center of attention of people, and nobody concentrates at the moment on the Tesla stock. Tesla stock, as we said yesterday, I still maintain that needs some nice, good news, tangible news that these people understand. I mean, us Tesla people, we heard it. We heard it at Investor Day, but most people didn't understand it at Investor Day. So it not just has to become, a Cybertruck day. It has to be good results in Q1 or maybe in Q2. But the stock will recover. I'm absolutely sure about it. I mean, I told you yesterday, I still think today the stock is worth 300. And I mean, it is where it is because that's the market. That's the difference between value and price.
This is what many people wanted to see at Investor Day. They wanted to see a new vehicle. Didn't really matter, concept vehicle or not a concept vehicle. Most people just ignored that Tesla really revealed a vehicle without revealing it. That's almost as far as you can go to actually reveal a vehicle without revealing it. Because to me, as an investor, all that matters is that, can we make the next vehicle at a cheap price? I mean, Volkswagen is telling us that they can, but they have told us years ago that they would have a $22,900 car by now. They told us that back in 2019, but now they are telling that new vehicle will be out there that will cost $25,000 and it will come in a few years. Well, I'm not sure I really believe that.
I think the problem with the other ones is that if you're a GM, you have financed cars a year ago, 2 years ago. Remember how crazy prices were? And people financed at those prices, remember? And GM financed them at those prices. Now the leases come to an end, the financing come to an end, or people can't pay. So now GM has to take back those cars, right? They have to repossess them. Now, how much are they worth now? So on one side, they lost an enormous part of their value. The car lost an enormous. And on the other side, GM has an issue for months and months where they can't recuperate the money from the person that was supposed to pay them the debt. So that's the bubble. Tesla doesn't have those problems. First of all, Tesla can summon back and find a car within a half a second, right? They know all the time where the car is. So if somebody doesn't pay and gets repossessed, the easiest job that Tesla has.
You do not want to be late on your Tesla payments. But also, I like the Tesla app where I can open it and I can see, my wife will be here in about probably 10 minutes. She's driving right now on this street. Okay, cool. I love that. Also, sometimes I don't want to call her when she's driving. I don't want to distract her. So I just open the app. I'm like, oh, okay. I see that the car is moving. Maybe I'll call her in like 5 minutes or something like that.
The second is that entering the market now, you don't have all this backlog. You didn't do it at those crazy prices. You do it at today's competitive price. So I still think they should do that. I don't see a big risk for them. But I mean, I don't think it's a priority today.
Key priorities for Tesla are lower costs of manufacturing, so you can sell vehicles at lower prices, work on FSD, and ramp your production as much as possible, as fast as possible, without spending an unforgivable amount of money. Spend money within reason and try to do it as fast as possible, but efficiently. Tesla is so efficient at using capital that Morgan Stanley, in one of their notes, pointed out that, look, you guys that make internal combustion engine vehicles, maybe you should just keep making these vehicles and let other automakers such as Tesla make EVs because they are so effective at making these EVs with low capital. And you, legacy automakers, have proven in the past to waste money. So why do you think you will not waste money throughout this transition? That was quite an interesting take from Morgan Stanley. And they are somewhat right, although if these automakers do not transition, they will be bankrupt. So they have two options. Either try to make as much money as possible for now, or try to spend all of their profits that they will be making and try to transition to EVs. We'll see how many actually survive a transition.
For the lender, it's a catastrophe. They sold the car 60,000 and financed it 60,000 2 years ago. When they get it back, if it's still worth 30, and there's going to be a huge gap for companies that have too high a credit rating. This is all going to explode at the same time. For them, it's coming at the same time. It's going to be really dirty.
Right.
I predict that that's much worse than the bank scandal we have now. Maybe it comes at the same time. Maybe it's still a couple of months to go. But that one is going to be a really bad bubble to explode. And Tesla won't be affected by it. I mean, it may be for a couple of days and week infected because the stock market is stupid and they do everything by sectors, right?
Yeah.
But Tesla itself, intrinsic value, is actually going to gain by it.
Yeah, I talked about it back in December, and Elon is concerned about that as well. He tweeted about it. And if you thought the banking crisis was bad, well, Alexandra thinks this one is even worse. We'll see what actually happens, but the reality is these interest rates that keep going up and up and up and up and up, they are now breaking things. They broke the banking system and it pretty much got bailed out now, but it may break a few more things. Let's see what the Fed does and what breaks next if they keep raising interest rates. And this is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.